What if Goku was destined for something greater? Imagine if, from the moment he was born, a mysterious system guided his path, quests, levels, abilities, and power-ups, pushing him beyond his limits, granting him more power than what he originally had. This is the story of Goku from Dragon Ball, all the way to Dragon Ball Super, and even beyond, where every challenge brings him closer to unimaginable strength. Welcome to What If Goku Had a System? My name is Ash. Please, for me, drop a like and subscribe to the page. Also leave your comments down below. With that, let's begin. The moment Goku dropped to his knees, the entire temple fell silent. The statues, which had been mercilessly attacking him just seconds ago, suddenly froze in place. Their weapons, once swinging with deadly precision, now rested motionless. Goku panted heavily, his body still aching from the devastating blow he had taken earlier. His arms trembled slightly, but his mind was racing. "What is this?" he muttered under his breath. Then, a soft glow caught his attention. His eyes darted toward the stone tablet resting beside the throne. One of the commandments carved into its surface began to fade, the ancient text vanishing as if erased by an unseen force. His gaze sharpened as he read the words before they disappeared. "Thou shalt kneel before God." The realization hit him instantly. He was starting to understand. The statues hadn't stopped attacking for no reason. The moment he fell to his knees, the commandment recognized his action as submission, and it accepted it. His eyes shifted back to the tablet. Only one commandment remained. "Thou shalt praise God." His expression darkened. "So that's it," he muttered. All this time, he had assumed survive God meant he had to fight to stay alive. The statues attacking him had only reinforced that belief, but now he was rethinking everything. "Maybe I don't have to fight at all," Goku whispered to himself. He wasn't used to solving things without fighting, but if this was the key to surviving, then he had to try. Slowly, he rose to his feet, standing tall before the massive god statue. He took a deep breath. Then, with the same respectful bow he had once given to Zamasu, he lowered his head slightly and spoke. "Sorry, your lordship, it is I, Goku. I humbly come before you." Rumble. The ground shook violently beneath him, cutting his words short. His eyes shot open. The entire temple trembled, cracks forming along the floor, as if the very world was rejecting his words. Then, a low, thunderous groan filled the air. Goku's body froze. The god statue was standing up. "Oh no!" His muscles tensed as he instinctively jumped back, putting as much distance as possible between him and the massive figure. The other statues, which had momentarily gone still, began retreating to their original positions, as if making way for something greater. The god statue took one step forward. Its sheer size and presence were overwhelming, each movement causing the air to grow heavier. Then, its eyes began to glow. A bright golden light radiated from its pupils, pulsating with a terrifying energy signature that made Goku's entire body tense up. His breath hitched. "That thing," Goku whispered, sweat trickling down his temple. Even without his full power, he could feel it. This thing could end him instantly. If those smaller statues had done that much damage to him, then this god's attack, he didn't even want to imagine it. And then, the beam fired. A massive golden laser erupted from the statue's eyes, ripping through the air with an unstoppable force. The heat alone was immense, and Goku couldn't move. His legs felt locked in place. It was too fast. He wasn't going to dodge in time. Then, a system pop-up appeared in front of him.
3, 2, 1.
The timer hit 0, but before Goku could react, something else happened. For the first time, the architect moved. Deep within the temple, an ancient intelligence stirred. At first, he had paid no mind to the new arrival. The temple had been waiting for someone else. Someone with a different system. Jinwoo. The architect had assumed this human had wandered too close when the trial activated, mistakenly getting himself trapped inside. It wasn't uncommon for uninvited guests to stumble into places they didn't belong. But now he could feel it. This human had a system that was not of his creation. A flicker of curiosity passed through the architect's mind, and so he reached out. At that moment, Goku's system screen glitched. A new message flashed in bright red.
"Danger! Danger!"
The architect is attempting to take control of the system. Then, a final prompt appeared.
"Do you wish to grant the architect access? Yes or no?"
Goku didn't fully understand what was happening. But one thing was clear. The system was warning him. His instincts told him not to take any chances. Without hesitation, he tapped no. A message instantly flashed before his eyes.
The architect's access has been revoked.
The architect paused. For the first time in eons, something unexpected had happened. It tried again.
Access denied.
Again.
Access denied.
Again.
Access denied.
The architect's expression remained unreadable, but deep inside, it was shaken. This system, it muttered to itself, its voice echoing throughout the temple. It is not my creation. That fact alone should have been impossible. The system was his master's greatest creation, a tool meant for one being only, Sung Jinwoo. But this human, this Saiyan, had it. Who, among the rulers or monarchs, could have possibly replicated my master's work? Then, realization struck. The architect's eyes narrowed. No, it's not a replication. This is something else. Without hesitation, it stopped time inside the temple. The air froze, the dust mid-fall, the walls trembling in suspended motion. Everything inside the Cardinal Temple came to a dead halt. Everything except Goku. The architect's voice rang through the frozen world. You are not of this world, human. Who are you? But before Goku could even process the words, something went wrong. The architect couldn't freeze the system. Impossible. It took a step back, its glowing eyes widening in shock. How is this possible? Even time itself bends to my will inside this temple. And yet, before it could react further, Goku's body vanished. D-rank dungeon, unknown location. Goku reappeared mid-air, his feet hitting solid ground as he stumbled forward. His breath was ragged, his heart pounding. He was back. The temple was gone. The god statue, the architect, all of it, vanished in the blink of an eye. For a brief moment, he stood still. Then, it hit him. I survived? His hands clenched into fists. He knew. There was no way he could have survived that encounter on his own. That god statue was about to kill him. But by the grace of Zeno, the system saved him. As if on cue, a familiar blue panel appeared before him. You have been infected by the architect? Goku's brows furrowed. What does that mean? Before he could think further, another message flashed red.
The title villain has been forced upon you.
Villain? Confused, Goku tapped the info icon, and a description popped up.
The player will now be seen as a villain by everyone and everything he comes into contact with. This includes humans, monsters, monarchs, and rulers alike. The title villain alters the player's aura to be perceived as the most hated existence. Example: to humans, the player will appear as a monster. To monsters, the player will appear as a ruler. To rulers, the player will appear as a monarch. To monarchs, the player will appear as a ruler.
Goku blinked. What the hell does all this mean? None of this made sense. This wasn't his world, and rules here didn't work the same as his old one. Before he could dwell on it, another notification appeared.
Penalty quest completed. Quest reward, 5,000 XP.
A second message immediately followed.
You have leveled up.
Goku's eyes widened as he watched his level climb rapidly.
Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, Level 4, Level 5. Congratulations, you are now Level 9.
And then,
all stats have increased by 25.
Instantly, a surge of energy flooded his body. His muscles tensed, his senses sharpened, and for the first time since arriving in this world, he felt powerful. His ki burned brighter. His body felt lighter. The power that had been stripped away from him was slowly returning. He cracked his knuckles, a smirk tugging at his lips. So, this is how it works. As soon as Goku tapped on his stats menu, the glowing screen reappeared before his eyes. The more he looked at it, the more things started to make sense. These numbers, they've increased, he muttered, his brows furrowing in concentration. A realization struck him. This wasn't just a coincidence. That surge of power he felt earlier wasn't random. His strength had spiked because the numbers on this screen had risen. His eyes scanned the details carefully.
Strength, 35. Agility, 35. Perception, 35. Vitality, 35. Intelligence, 35. Kai, 125.
However, what truly shocked him was the massive increase in his HP and power.
HP, 250 power, 500.
His heart pounded. That was a 5-fold increase from before. His fists clenched with excitement. If just one quest could make him this much stronger, how much further could he go? What were the limits of this system? Then, his mind flashed back to what the system had said. when he first arrived in this strange world. Survive, grow stronger, surpass even your previous power. The Tournament of Power. Was it really possible to become even stronger than that? Could he rise beyond Ultra Instinct? The very thought sent a shiver of anticipation down his spine. But what he didn't realize was that this had been no ordinary quest. This was an SS rank dungeon, a rarity in this world, a place where only the most monstrous threats lurked, where even seasoned hunters avoided stepping foot. His rapid growth was the result of an extreme penalty quest, one that had nearly killed him.
And yet, he had survived.
Before he could ponder it further, a bright notification flashed before him.
Congratulations, you have unlocked new rewards.
Goku's eyes flickered over the glowing text as more system messages appeared.
Base skill unlocked, Kai Blast, level 1. Base skill unlocked, Kaioken, level 2. Passive skill unlocked, Zenkai Boost, level 1.
Goku's jaw nearly dropped. These are my techniques, he gasped. He had assumed that everything was lost when he first arrived in this world. His power, his abilities, his mastery of ki. But now, here they were, returning to him one by one. A rush of excitement surged through his veins. Was this what the system meant when it said he could regain his strength? Was this how he would surpass his limits? He smirked, his Saiyan blood boiling with anticipation. Eager to test it out, he lifted a hand and gathered energy into his palm. A small, crackling ki blast formed, glowing with soft blue light. He fired it forward. Bang! The attack soared through the air and exploded against a nearby rock, but it lacked the power he expected. Huh? Goku narrowed his eyes as he studied the aftermath. His attack had barely left a dent. That was nothing compared to what he could normally do. Then, his eyes flickered toward the system interface, where a small level indicator hovered next to the ki blast skill. Level 1. His lips parted in realization. So that's how it works, he muttered. The skills he unlocked weren't at full power yet. They had levels, just like everything else. The higher the level, the stronger the ability would become. A grin spread across his face. If that's the case, he just had to keep fighting, keep leveling up, and keep pushing forward, and he would become stronger than ever before. Goku took a deep breath, his excitement bubbling over as the reality of his situation sank in. If leveling up his ki blast made it stronger, then what about the other skills? His eyes flickered back to the system interface, locking on to the newly unlocked ability.
Kaioken, level 2.
He clenched his fists, the memory of his old technique flashing through his mind. He had relied on Kaioken so many times in the past, pushing his body beyond its limits in battle. But if it was now locked behind a leveling system, then that meant he could evolve it.
He could take it even further.
His grin widened, and without hesitation, he focused inward, summoning the fiery energy of Kaioken from deep within. A crimson aura burst around him, crackling with raw energy as his muscles tensed. The ground beneath him trembled slightly from the sudden spike in power. His veins throbbed, his body instantly feeling the familiar strain of the technique. But compared to before, it wasn't as overwhelming. The system had labeled this as Kaioken level 2, meaning it was still in its early stages. He exhaled sharply, maintaining control before deactivating the skill. The red aura vanished in an instant. Yep, just like I thought, he muttered to himself. If I level it up, it's gonna get stronger, way stronger.
That realization only fueled his hunger for battle. But then another notification popped up.
Passive skill unlocked, Zenkai Boost, level 1.
Goku's eyes narrowed in interest.
Zenkai? Boost? That was a Saiyan's natural ability to grow stronger after recovering from the brink of death. It had always been a part of him, but seeing it categorized as a passive skill intrigued him. If this system had taken something so innate and made it an actual stat-based ability, did that mean he could enhance it too? Could he push his Zenkai to new heights beyond what was naturally possible? A slow, determined smile crept onto his face. If that was true, then there really were no limits. This system, this strange new power, wasn't just helping him regain his former strength. It was giving him a path to surpass it entirely. His heart pounded in excitement. He wasn't just going to get back to where he was. He was going to go even further beyond. Goku took a deep breath, rolling his shoulders as he prepared to test his newfound abilities. His eyes gleamed with anticipation as he activated the skill. Kaioken! A blazing crimson aura erupted around him,
crackling with raw energy as his muscles tensed. The sheer force of the transformation sent small shockwaves through the air, kicking up dust and pebbles from the dungeon floor. His heart pounded in his chest, his veins pulsing with power. At first, it felt just like before, familiar, yet exhilarating. But something was different this time. As he maintained Kaioken, an idea struck him.
If this skill multiplies my stats, then he quickly pulled up his stats menu, keeping the transformation active. His eyes darted across the screen, and sure enough, his base stats had doubled.
Strength 35 to 70, agility 35 to 70, perception 35 to 70, vitality 35 to 70, intelligence 35 to 70, Kai 125 to 250.
Beside each stat, a small blue plus symbol glowed, indicating that the enhanced numbers were temporary. Once Kaioken wore off, his stats would revert to their original state. "This is crazy," Goku muttered, clenching his fists. His power had surged even higher, making his body feel lighter, stronger, faster. The rush was addicting. However, just as he was about to celebrate, a system notification appeared in the corner of his vision.
Time limit 1 minute, cooldown 30 minutes.
Goku frowned. "So I can only use it for a minute, and then I have to wait half an hour before I can activate it again?"
It made sense. He remembered how much strain Kaioken put on his body in his old world. Even at just Kaioken X2, the risk of tearing himself apart was real. However, now that it was a level-based skill, there was a way around this. If I level it up, the time limit and cooldown should improve. A smirk played on his lips. He had a way to make Kaioken even stronger than before. With a deep exhale, he deactivated the skill. The crimson aura vanished, and his stats instantly dropped back to normal. As the energy faded, his eyes wandered over to the passive skill that had caught his attention earlier.
Passive skill, Zenkai Boost, level 1.
The name sounded unfamiliar to him, but when he tapped the info tab, a description popped up.
Zenkai Boost, a unique ability exclusive to Saiyans. When the user experiences a near-death situation, they will receive a 2% increase in strength and speed upon recovery. This effect increases as the skill levels up.
Goku's eyes widened.
"Oh, so that's what it's called?" he mused.
His entire life, he had experienced this phenomenon countless times, pushing himself to the brink of death, only to come back even stronger. He always thought it was just natural for Saiyans, but now, seeing it quantified as an actual skill with measurable effects, a grin spread across his face. So this is the ability that lets us Saiyans grow stronger after every battle. It was fascinating. Before, he had no idea just how much stronger he got after a fight, but now he could track it, level it up, and push it even further. He was learning more about his own race than he ever had before. This system wasn't just giving him back his abilities, it was showing him exactly how they worked. But before he could dwell on it further, another notification appeared in front of him.
Congratulations, you have acquired a random loot box.
A small glowing black box materialized out of thin air and landed in his palm. Huh? Goku blinked, turning it over in his hands. What's this? It was compact and metallic, with strange engravings carved into its surface. The design reminded him of one of Bulma's capsules, but something about it felt mysterious. Curious, he decided to test it. With a flick of his wrist, he tossed it onto the ground, expecting it to burst open.
Nothing happened.
Instead, the box instantly reappeared back in his hand. Huh? That's weird.
Just as he was about to try again, a system prompt appeared.
Open or store.
Finally, understanding how it worked, Goku was about to say, open, but suddenly, his instincts flared. His body tensed as he sensed something powerful lurking deeper within the dungeon. A monstrous presence. And that's it for today's episode, guys. If you watched to the end, then that could be an indication that you enjoy the series. So please leave a like on the video. Thank you and take care.